What's up, guys? Vince Valentine EX Turk, your king of the night, Vince Valentine EX Turk, and I'm gonna finish this night by making a video. So, you know, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm making a video. Anyways, I wanted to talk about Final Fantasy 15 again. You know, sorry about that. I moved the cat off the displays because she was almost knocking down the displays. But anyways. This is actually a question, and I guess a question within an answer is a question with an answer. If that makes any sense, let's get to it. Can Ravus survive and make it to chapter 14? Now, I'm going to be analyzing the situation where Ravus had his downfall. Now, Ravus had his downfall when he went to go challenge Idolus Outer Crap, you know, by himself without the help of Noctis or any of them. So that would have been, that would have been a bad choice, which is the original path. The original path is actually the bad choice. So pretty much, if Ravus had not gone around trying to mess with Idolus right away and challenge him by himself, there's two situations he could have got out of this without dying. Number one is if he would have went with Noctis, if he would have waited until Noctis and them showed up, and just even him and Noctis by themselves, without Gladiolus and Ignis, would have a better chance at taking out Idolus Outer Crap, because that's the problem Ravus has. The problem with Ravus is completely arrogant. He's a pretty arrogant character. You know, he's like a Seto Kaiba off Yu-Gi-Oh!, a Vegeta off Dragon Ball Z. He's pretty much full of himself. So he thought he was strong enough to take on Idolus by himself, but it turns out he wasn't. Because remember, this is still human Ravus. Ravus did not get the demon powers until Arden operated on him. But I think the only way the scenario could work is he ends up teaming up with Noctis by himself. 2, he teams up with Noctis, Gladiolus, and Ignis, and they all take down Idolus. 3, he stays out of the battle. And we're going to be talking about the situations where this is all possible. 3, he stays at the 3 stays at the. So we're going to be going down to the list. Number 1, if he would have waited, or at least try to find Noctis in Gralia. If he would have found some way to communicate with Noctis, or at least waited in Tenebrae until Noctis came, because he knew that Noctis was going to come. Give the King's Sword to Noctis, join up with Ignis and Gladiolus. Gladiolus and Ignis would still be separated from Noctis, but Ravus would have made it. Ravus at least would have cut through the train or made it. So you would have Noctis and you would have Ravus, but the problem is your enemies will be stronger because you would have someone who can use their weapons, while Noctis can only use the Ring of Lucii, and that's it, and his father's sword that Ravus gave to him. So, yes, they'd both go up, and it'd be like the normal thing. They'd go rescue Prompto first, and then after they would go rescue Prompto, they'd go it'd go through the same thing. They'd go look for the crystal. Idolus is already transformed into his demon state, Theroy, and they would all take down Theroy. And then chapter 14 will happen, of course, like regular. Arden will trap Noctis in the crystal. Arden will try to fight Ravus and them. And Ravus sees the true face of Arden and goes like, whoa, what the fuck is this? But anyways, that's situation 1. Chapter 14 happens. Ravus trains Gladiolus, since Ravus is the one who beat Gladiolus originally. He trains Gladiolus. Gladiolus gets much stronger. Ignis gets much stronger, and he helps out Cid and alongside Aranea. So you got 2 of the Niflheim Empire's top people saving everybody. So he'd be saving civilians until Noctis returns. And then what Ravus will do is find Noctis' place and look out after Noctis. Pretty much protect stand guard of the prison when Noctis wakes from his stasis. So You know, Ravus would be pretty much be the first person waiting for Noctis. Both Noctis and Ravus would, you know, go meet up with the others like they did in Chapter 14, and they'd both march on to the Imperial capital. Since they got Ravus with them, and Ravus has killed an Astral, he's killed one of the Astrals before, he'd be able to defeat Ifrit no problem, even without the help of Shiva, but Shiva will actually cleanse out the Star Scourge so Ifrit can't come back. Now, this will actually get even crazier because Arden did a spell to make it so Arden put a spell right on Ignis, Gladiolus, and Prompto so they stay on the bound. This won't work on Ravus because Ravus is 10 times stronger. He's as surpassed Idolus and made it to Arden's level. So both Arden and Ravus would fight. Both Noctis and Ravus would fight Arden. And then after they fight Arden would kill Ravus. This will make Noctis so angry he would unlock the ultimate. Since now Ravus and Noctis got a bond, you know, Noctis would be so pissed off that Arden would not stand a chance. Arden would be outclassed just in 2 seconds. That boss fight from go to 5 minutes easy to 2 seconds because of that. Now, number 2, same thing happens. You know, same thing happens with number 2. You know, except the group's with them, so it'd just be easy. Take out, they'd both get the crystal, and Arden will send the crystal. Chapter 14. Now, let's skip to number 3 situation. Ravus does not go to Grollia right away. He tries to get a strategic plan, and tries to come up with a plan to help Noctis. So, this time, he will stay out of Grollia. He'd be in Tenebrae, mourning the loss of his sister Lunafreya, but he'd also be training. At this point, Gentiana would train Ravus to be even stronger, because Ravus is still human. Ravus only turned demon because Arden has messed with him. You know. In this case, I guess it'd be easier for him to go with Prompto alongside Aranea and take out Verstale, because Verstale is only one man with the power to transfer to his Magitech, but Ravus is stronger. But Ravus is stronger than Verstale, so he'd be a help. Now he'd probably leave before the Immortalis battle, saying, "Hey Prompto, you got this. I'm gonna go join up with the other guys." So he doesn't go into Grollia at all yet until he comes with the plan. Noctis gets stuck in the crystal like normal. 10 years has passed. You know. This time, Ravus protects the refugees and sees that they get to Lestalem before Chapter 13, knowing what's going to happen with the Star Scourge. Then Ravus will end up meeting with Gladiolus, Prompto, and Ignis, Aranea, Older Iris, and will train them alongside Aranea. So they're going to be stronger. This time he goes, since now Ravus is 10 times stronger, but he'd still be just as strong as he would with the last 2 situations. But, you know, Ravus's training would be so good that when they go face Arden this time, Arden's spell isn't going to work on Ignis, Prompto, or Gladiolus. And then this time Ravus lives. Ravus fights alongside Noctis, Gladiolus, Ignis, and Prompto, and they beat Arden earlier on! Of course, Noctis would still have to make the sacrifice because he's a Lucius Caelium, so Ravus can't count as a Lucius Caelium technically, so it wouldn't work if he sacrificed himself. So, being the sad way it is, Noctis will still have to sacrifice himself, except in this particular instant, Ravus would still be alive. So Noctis will say, "Hey, you're not Lucius Caelium, but you earn your keep. So now you are the new king. Ravus Nox Fluret, king of Insomnia. Bring peace to the world, see that immigrants are safe, and see that the Niflheim Empire never come back." And Ravus will see to that, because Ravus at this point hates the Niflheim Empire after knowing what Arden has did to his sister. I mean, he has denounced he may wear the jacket, but with pride, but he hates the Niflheim Empire. That's why he went to challenge Idolus. But he wouldn't have to go after Idolus in this case, because Noctis already defeated Idolus, and then Arden later on. But during this, they'd be strong enough to block any spell. So the battle with Arden, final battle with Arden would be much easier because you had Gladiolus, Ignis, Prompto, and Ravus smashing the shit out of Arden. Arden will like, oh no, what is going on? Arden will freak out and have a panic attack. He won't have his calm exterior, even though he has immortality. He'd know how hard that'd be. But Noctis would still have to sacrifice himself. So at this point, Ravus would be the king of Insomnia. Of course, yes, I think Gladiolus, Ignis, and Prompto would start being Ravus's Kingsguard, making sure all countries are united. This time, Niflheim does not exist. Even though the capital Grollia is still there after the Scourge, the capital Grollia becomes something else. And maybe Ravus will name it New Tenebrae, so he bring his Tenebrae civilians to the new non-Star Scourge Grollia and turn it into a different Tenebrae. And anybody who survived the disaster of Alticia, because at this point Lestat will be overpopulated, so someone will go to the new non-Star Scourged, what should I say? The non-Star Scourged Grollia. So the Niflheim Empire flags will be taken down and replaced by Tenebrae, since now Insomnia is Ravus. But, Ravus wouldn't feel right ruling Insomnia because he's not in Lucius Caelum, and now he respects Lucius Caelum. So he'd probably move to Grollia or New Tenebrae, and just leave Insomnia alone, But Insomnia would still get built back up, and they'd have to have someone who could be the king of Insomnia, So I guess probably it had to be Gladiolus at that point. Gladiolus would probably be the one to be the king of Insomnia, while Ravus becomes the king of New Tenebrae, which was previously Grollia. And everything from the Niflheim Empire would be destroyed. Ravus would order every document, every experiment thing, every lab to be burned down. So they'd be burned down before Ravus takes control of it and rebuilds it as the New Tenebrae. And it'd be kind of connected to the old Tenebrae, pretty much. Just like it was with Lestalem and old Lestalem and new Lestalem. It'd be like that. There'd be two Tenebrae. Old Tenebrae would be where he comes from, and the new Tenebrae would be where Ravus is king. So Ravus is the king of the new Tenebrae. Gladiolus becomes the new king of Insomnia, and honors the way Noctis would have been king. So, he'd get Regis' sword. And then there'd be peace and prosperity for the rest of eternity. Since the Star Scourge is gone, Niflheim's gone, Arden's gone. It'd be just peace and prosperity, building countries up, And they still have a military to keep everything safe. So tell me what you think in the comments below, what you think of this theory, and may the crystal be with you.